Still force closing apps to save battery? Or are you still wearing hats with foils just because of 5G? It's 2025, guys. Let's kill the myth once and for all. It's Mr. Tech Bro here, and today we are busting all the biggest tech myths still floating around so that you can stop wasting your time, your money, and your peace of mind. Smash the subscribe button if you're done with all the tech misinformation, and let's dive in. iOS and Android are not silly. They've programmed their OS in such a way that it actually freezes apps that are barely in use, and they rarely take any power or battery off your phone. But then the moment you start to swipe away, what you're doing is closing that app, and then the system has to reload, which in return takes more battery. So you're actually doing the opposite of what you're trying to do. Instead of saving battery, you're actually draining more of your battery by closing those apps. You just leave them alone, allow those apps stay idle, and they do not drain your battery. Apple's Craig Federer literally said, no, closing apps doesn't save battery. And that was way back in 2016. I mean, this is 2025. Technology has gotten smarter. So stop closing those apps, leave them. Because the more you close them, the more your system has to reload, and the more you keep draining your battery. So if you want to save battery, let the app stay idle. The system is programmed that way. Only force quit an app when it becomes unresponsive. If not, focus your energy on your screen brightness, your Wi-Fi, and your GPS, because those ones drain more battery than those apps that have actually been programmed to stay idle. Charging overnight ruins your battery is another myth that you actually have to debug and get off your head. Modern lithium-ion packs actually have microcontrollers that stop charging once they hit 100. Apple, Samsung, and almost every phone producer have actually optimized charging in every new device in such a way that by default, when the phone hits a certain percentage, it actually stops charging. And according to sources from the Apple website and their documentary, when an iPhone actually hits 80%, it actually stops charging around 5 a.m. and then picks up again to charge after a few minutes so that you'd actually wake up to maybe 100%. So what that means is once it charges and then you're sleeping, that's if you're charging overnight, once it gets to 80%, it actually stops, and then maybe from 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. it will actually continue charging again, so that period by which it actually got to 80%, if it got to 80% around 1 o'clock, your phone is actually not charging till around 5 when it will pick up charging again to get to 100%, and then you wake up to meet the 100%. It is actually the villain. Skip all the bulky cases, stop putting your phone under sweaty pillows. The cooler your phone battery is, the happier your battery stays. Incognito mode makes you invisible. This is another myth that is absolutely not true. I mean, all it does is it clears your cookies, but your ISP, your employers, they can all see literally everything that your IP is or has been engaged with. So for those of you who do shady things, who watch stuffs online, they can literally track and monitor everything you do because you're not invisible. So think of it like wearing glasses or sunshades indoor. You only look very cool, but it doesn't mean that people cannot really identify you. That's the same way going incognito actually works. So everybody could see, the ISP, your employers, the government. Yes, they can see your traffic, they can see what you're engaging with, but then you only look cooler. If you really want to go invisible, combine a very trusted VPN with an HTTPS and good browsing habits. You could use browsers like DuckDuckGo and then some other crazy browsers that actually keep you invisible. But safe or outside of any of that, you are actually in the public eye. Don't think that going incognito makes you invisible. It doesn't. 5G uses the non-ionizing IF energy, which is too weak to actually affect your DNA. A peer-reviewed 2025 study blasted cell samples with RF levels 50x higher than what tower emits, and no damages were found. And this were also confirmed by the WHO, the FDA's, and the UK's NHS. So they all agree that 5G's radiation is not equals to poisoning and does not in any way affect your DNA, neither does it affect your cells. Fun fact, your microwave runs at 2.45 gigahertz, close to some 5G bands, and at a widely higher power, yet you stand close to it, making popcorns, microwaving your foods, and nothing happens to you. So clear that off your head that the 5G actually poisons your body or poisons your cell. AI would take every job. That's another myth you need to get off your head. At Vivatech, NVIDIA's Jensen said, AI changes every job, but productivity boost creates more job. I mean, tasks could vanish, but new roles will always spring up. Prompt engineers, AI ethic leaders, database auditors, and so many other jobs will actually spring up that AI can actually not do, but then we will be the one doing. So yes, AI might be able to take away some jobs, might be able to make some people get off the market because a lot of people will no longer be paying for such services, or just a very few percentage of people pays for the services. But then new jobs spring forth, which would be more of managing AI and understanding how to actually engineer AI to be more effective in our everyday life. I did a video about AI and you can check that in our YouTube channel. What's my perspective? The steam engine killed horse carriage gigs, but bettered mechanics, road builders, and actually Formula One. The same playbook, new century. So the same way that happened is the same way new opportunities will be created once AI becomes so much accepted within the century. Another myth you need to clear off is that more megapixels is equals to better photos. I mean, a 50 megapixel phone sensor is the size of your pinky nail, and a 12 megapixels mirrorless camera is actually the size of a postal stamp. So it is not true that the bigger the megapixels, the better the pictures, because it is the bigger glass plus the bigger sensor that gives more light, and then in return is equals to sharper and cleaner images, so especially in low light. So it is not just all about the size of the megapixels, it is also about the size of the glass of the megapixels. So tip, look at the sensor size, the lens aperture, and the image processor, not just whatever it is that is being sharded or paraded as your megapixels. Macs can get virus. That's another myth you need to debug. AV Comparatives 2025 test hammered macOS with 899 real malwares. So the spoiler alert is macOS isn't bulletproof. In fact, because they're beginning to have the rising market share, they become the juicier target. So what then is my tip and advice for you? Keep your macOS updated. Use a trusted antivirus, and then do not sideload sketchy apps. For those of you who are always looking for how to download cracked versions of the apps, always be careful so that you don't in return put malwares on your macOS. How then do you avoid falling for tech myths? Cross-check with reputable sources. Not every TikTok tech trend is actually true and valid. Follow engineers and not just some random messages. And then always make sure to test stuff yourself. Tech fear sells, while fact saves. Which myth blew your mind? Comment below. And if you've learned something today, hit the like button, smash the subscribe, and share with a friend who still forecloses every app. See you next time. Stay curious, stay smart. I'll see you in the next video.